Hey everybody, this is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous good-looking friends. Sharing with you today the front cover of a U.S. tabloid, Star Magazine, June 12th issue.
You shouldn't do it, because the British tabloids will destroy your life. And I very naively, I'm American, we don't have that there. What are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. I'm not in tabloids.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen. You look like such a fool. Let me read this article. I think you're going to enjoy seeing how the media is now turning on Meghan Markle. Something tells me that she does not have Harry's support anymore, and the gloves are off. Meghan is done. Make way, the karma train is coming through. Choo-choo! Push to the limit. Meghan made to look like a raging lunatic, while the quote below says nothing is going to plan for Meghan. A friend tells Star. Well, whose friend is that? Could very well be a friend of Star Magazine. Anyhow, in this caption it says, "Under fire, Meghan's doing her best to keep the faith and remain positive," says a source of the Duchess, who experienced more than a few letdowns. How about an epic failure of a lifetime? Just my opinion. The article begins. Meghan Markle was pointed as she accepted the Woman of Vision Award at the Ziegfeld Ballroom on May 16th in New York City. The narrative on repeat that surrounded me allowed me to recognize that part of my greater purpose in life was to advocate for those who felt unheard. The 41-year-old said she claimed the honor, seeming to refer to her troubled history with the royal family, adding, "and to be not afraid of saying what you know is true." Right, Meghan. Seriously. The former Suits star had brought husband Prince Harry and her mom, Dorito, along to the high-profile event. But just a few hours later, the notion of truth was already being put to test. Harry and Meghan claimed they were involved in a near-catastrophic car chase with a paparazzi that lasted more than 2 hours. This is just so funny reading out loud this sentence. It sounds so ridiculous in itself. Despite some initial sympathy and obvious comparisons to the tragic car accident that killed Harry's mother, Diana, Princess of Wales, in 1997, the couple was quickly accused of exaggerating the severity of the incident and playing the victim card yet again. Now sources say an emotionally fragile Meghan is spiraling as her plans to succeed after she and Harry left the royal family in nearly 2020 have fizzled. The whole New York strip turned into a total farce, says the source. Meghan is still picking herself up off the floor and trying to make sense of it all. She's very upset. Boo-hoo, Meghan. This stupid plan didn't go as you wanted it, and now you look like a total jackass. That's why you are still on the floor in pieces, sobbing like a idiot. So the article continues rehashing the story. We know what happened. At the end of the day, New York City called them out for their bullshit. Even the mayor said that it was impossible to have a 2-hour car chase here in Manhattan. The article continues, and it says, the pylon continued when the anti-Meg New York Post quoted sources who blasted the parents of Murchie and Lilybucks for opting to stay with a friend rather than a hotel with high-level security. New York Post is not anti-Meg. They just call it as they see it. And they called out Meghan hard on this one because you can't come to New York City and think that people are going to believe this ridiculous story. Like, New Yorkers have been seeing through this bullshit from the very first visit that they made here to do their fake royal tour. Let's get this straight. New York City never liked this couple. We found it appalling that they exploited the 9/11 memorial. Looking back, the family should have sued Archwell for posting the names of their family members without permission. Once again, Meghan decided to exploit the dead in order to benefit her and drive traffic to the Archwell website. This is what pissed me off and was the catalyst for me to start speaking out about this couple. They exploited children in Harlem. They exploited our military by forcing themselves into an award ceremony in which they didn't even deserve to be in a room for. Anyhow, sorry about the mini rant. Let me continue. When the couple demanded a photo agency give them copies of photos and video footage from the night in question, the agency hit back saying, "In America, property belongs to the owner of it. Third parties cannot just demand it being given to them, as perhaps kings can do." Others accused Harry of blowing things out of proportion in order to influence his legal bid to pay for special police protection while in the UK. Yeah, and honestly, people have the right to their own opinions, especially after witnessing all the lies and manipulation that Meghan and Harry are known to do and have done in the past. Obviously, people have the right to think that this was purposely designed to help their case, which it failed spectacularly. And I think part of the reason why Meghan is not showing her face anywhere is because she knows that she messed up with this one. The article continues and cites the rep's statement that was given to the public, thinking that our public opinion was abhorrent, like anybody really cares. It continues to say that regardless, Harry and a stressed out Meghan plan to fight back. The follow-up ridicule Harry and Meghan have faced for merely stating how scared they were makes them furious, says the source. Harry filmed everything he could on his iPhone, and it's almost certain he will pursue legal action. Yeah, somehow I doubt that, because I don't think they want to be subjected to even more ridicule, because that's exactly what's going to happen. And we all know that another South Park episode is surely going to come out. And don't you worry, they will make fun of them somehow and reference this ridiculous incident. Now, this next part is comical. Feeling lost. Beyond being chased by paparazzi, Meghan deeply relates to Diana, Princess of Wales. Some say to a point of obsession. You think? It may sound harsh to accuse Meghan of having a Diana complex, but that's what a lot of people think, says the source. It's because of how she feels they both were mistreated and singled out as a bad seed unworthy of her place in the royal pecking order. Oh, Lord. They got one thing right. Meghan is a bad seed, but as far as her place in the royal pecking order, Meghan wanted to be queen, and that was never going to happen. So once she realized that, she bounced. Now, from what I've observed, Meghan really thought that she was going to come back to America and she was going to set up full court here to be the Queen of America. Well, sorry for the rude wake-up call, but that ain't happening. Like Diana, Meghan hoped to rise above the negativity. Meghan wants to make a difference in the world, says the source. Yeah, sure, Jan. Meghan only wanted to make money. Meghan could care less about helping anybody other than herself. She considers the causes she supports to be more important than anything else. Yet it's no secret, Meghan has been struggling to find her footing since leaving her acting career behind and marrying Harry. Insecurity has dogged her for years. On her now-defunct blog, The Tig, she recalled always having issues fitting in. Being biracial, I fell somewhere in between blah, 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 blah. Just in general, nobody likes Meghan Markle. She's just a very unlikable person. Has nothing to do with the fact of her being biracial. It's because she's just not a nice person. That's okay. It happens. There are people that exist out there that are just not likable, and she is one of them. Maybe Meghan should go find that group of unlikable people and hang out there, because misery loves company, and I'm sure she would be welcomed wherever that group may exist. But quite frankly, America is not buying it, and no matter how much propaganda that you push down our throats, it's not going to make anyone like you anymore. Maybe that's why the fake charity and the faux humanitarian is not translating into the dollars that she had hoped would happen. And it says here, Meghan hoped to make more of a splash by now, says the source, adding that she's been putting her own name in the running for humanitarian awards, aka she's been paying for them. calling it out right here. She knows how to play the game. She participates in these types of events to heighten her profile. Well, duh. I think everybody knows that. And finally, the article says, vicious cycle. Harry's bending over backward to make Meghan happy, but it isn't easy. Well, Meghan is never going to be happy, so Harry needs to understand that he can break his back trying, but it's not going to work. No matter what Meghan has been given, clearly nothing is good enough. They're dealing with a lot of turmoil and criticism right now, and it's stressing Harry out, reveals the source. Honestly, cry me a river. No one feels sorry for Meghan nor Harry. They're the ones who brought all of this criticism on their own shoulders. They're the ones that lied on Oprah. They lied on Netflix. They lied in Spotify. They've been lying from the very beginning. So nothing that these two can say or do will redeem the fact that they're the two biggest frauds that currently right now are in pop culture. It's just now become a big joke. So keep giving us material to work with, Meghan and Harry, because I'm sure that you're going to do something. And all of the news outlets that are reporting that Meghan and Harry are going to not talk about the royal family anymore and put it behind them, I highly doubt that. Even if they work on projects such as these rom-coms, I guarantee they're going to take their own story and put it into the characters that they're going to build. They have nothing else to trade on. They should just go away quietly for 5 years and then try to make a rebranding. But to keep doing this over and over is just making it worse. Things were bad enough back in the UK, but the fact Americans are now giving them a hard time is really worrisome. He just wants everything to be perfect. But he and Meghan keep getting themselves into trouble. Well, I think it's because money is drying up and they can't suppress the media that much longer. And now all of it is starting to come out. This is nobody's fault but their own fault. And their attempts to control the narrative so much that it's backfiring on them. It's either decide you want a public life and accept that there are certain things that come with it, which is criticism. There are going to be people that don't like you and never will like you. So stop wasting your money and do something positive. Sadly, Meghan thrives on misery and will continue to be miserable and make others miserable in order to make herself feel better. So it's best to just stay away and avoid these two like the plague. Those in Hollywood are getting it. And this is why they're writing that America's turning their back, is because Hollywood wants nothing to do with this couple because they are a disaster. Positive sign about all this is once you lose Hollywood, then the Democrats want nothing to do with you. So I doubt Meghan's political career aspirations that probably were at once an idea for her, should everything else fail, now is not going to be working out so well. And to see this in a rag magazine that was supportive of Meghan just confirms everything that people are feeling and saying around Hollywood. In this little blurb, they say the Duke and Duchess of Sussex had high hopes of being instantly welcomed into A-list after relocating to their abode in Montecito, California. But it does say that the word on the street is that the Sussexes are pretty self-serving, which is saying a lot in a place like Hollywood. It's not a good look. This is just the beginning. Wait till the divorce proceedings or it gets leaked that the couple are officially separating and divorcing. There are going to be stories coming out of the woodwork. And there's no doubt that Meghan is going to be slinging her mud to these rag mags, and then Harry is also going to be doing the same thing. So we're going to see this play out, in my opinion, via the media. It's going to be ugly, but this is what's going to sell papers. And you know what? Meghan's got to find a new source of income and guarantee that this is a path that she may have to take. I think it's telling and also quite annoying that we're starting to see mainstream media turn on the Harkles. And now all of a sudden we're seeing stories that are coming up that don't favor Meghan in the best possible light, like talking about Princess Catherine when she was getting married and, discovering that she wrote on her TIG and making a story out of that. We also had recently the polo, her in the video looking all awkward and, trying to insert herself in places. What I don't understand is why are journalists now exposing these stories as if they were the first ones to discover these stories when this stuff had been widely known, but nobody was talking about it. How about they do actual journalism and research? Why was Doria missing for 10 years? How come Meghan and Harry had 5 different stories for how they met? Why is nobody calling out the fact that they lie at every which turn and put that at the forefront? The biggest red flag that I see here is why is nobody talking about the involvement that this couple has had within our government, especially Prince Harry, in violating many Americans' First Amendment rights, especially by influencing policy as well as participating in activities that are highly political. Why is nobody talking about, and here is the bigger picture, why is nobody talking about how Harry knew about January 6th? Don't you think that this foreigner who's come onto U.S. soil, who has declared that he sent Jack an email, well, why is nobody asking to see that email? It's this type of stuff that blows my mind. Journalists don't want to touch, want to gloss over it, but instead continue to keep focusing on Meghan and Harry saying that they're not going to talk about the royal family anymore, and this is the top story of the day. I know we're all very tired of hearing these same stories being put on repeat. Quite frankly, they are exhausted, and we're exhausted in talking about it. But there definitely is going to be more stuff coming down the pipe that I'm going to be bringing to you that no journalist seems to want to touch, so I'll touch it. What do you guys think? Definitely leave your thoughts below. As always, I will be back with more content, but until then, please be safe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
I was such a fraud.